Newly released research claims any press coverage of a woman candidate's physical appearance, even positive, could hurt her chances at the polls. Hillary Clinton's 2008 campaign for president is perhaps the most prominent modern example in American politics, when the candidate saw expanded coverage of clothes and of her spouse.
The reason she's a U.S. senator, the reason she's a candidate for president, the reason she may be a frontrunner is her husband messed around.
And with more talk of a potential 2016 run for Clinton, that conversation is resurfacing. Pundits now ponder the question, what's fair game and what's not?
She was calm, she was charming, her hair looked, just to be cosmetic, her hair looked great, she looked great.
Which designers do you prefer?
What designers of clothes?
Yeah.
Would you ever ask a man that question?
Probably not. Probably not.
I believe we actually have a split screen of the two women, and you can see there is a big difference between what Jackie Smith was wearing, although it's being covered by our... There we go.
So when you look at the calculation that goes into everything that Hillary Clinton does, for her to argue that she was not aware of what she was communicating by her dress is like Barry Bonds saying he thought he was rubbing down with flaxseed oil.
You all saw the famous photo from the weekend of Hillary looking so haggard and looking like 92 years old. If that's the face of experience, I think it's going to scare away a lot of those independent voters who are on the fence.
Men won't vote for Hillary Clinton because she reminds them of their nagging wives.
When Barack Obama speaks, men hear, "Take off for the future." And when Hillary Clinton speaks, men hear, "Take out the garbage."
When she raises her voice, and when a lot of women do, you know, it's, as I say, it reaches a point where every husband in America has heard it one time or another.
I don't know what they're getting at here, Tucker. What do you think they're saying about Hillary?
I don't know, but that is so perfect. As I have often said, when she comes on television, I involuntarily cross my legs.
I know you do.
We are crossing party lines to address the now very ugly role that sexism is playing in the campaign.
An issue which I am frankly surprised to hear people suddenly care about. That sexism can never be allowed to permeate an American election.
So please, stop photoshopping my head on sexy bikini pictures.
And stop saying I have cankles.
Reporters and commentators, stop using words that diminish us like pretty, attractive, beautiful.
Harpy, shrew, boner shrinker.
But she was launched onto the national stage as a vice presidential candidate, and she gave it her all in every way that she possibly could. Was she limited? Potentially. But she was thrown out there, raked over the coals, and then became a media joke. And now, this is costing her.
No,
now
the reason people are on both sides just so for her and against her, and we're talking about this off camera. No, this is the first woman in power with sexual appeal. I know that sounds crazy. Women don't know what to do with it.
Explain.
Men don't know what to do with it. We're used to seeing a woman in power as non-threat. No, guys.
Is that explaining your rabidness?
I think it's explaining this country. No, I just think she's quitting. I actually think she's been a compelling figure. I think that the American public, I think the media, I think people in power on both sides didn't know how to file that, and that's why she causes this kind of craziness in people. And whether that's sexist, what I'm saying, whether it's observatory, I think she is this fascinating figure because of that reason.
Finally, as promised, tonight's campaign comment and the issue of $150,000 being spent by the Republican National Committee so it could play vice presidential color forms with Sarah Palin and her family is, almost literally, window dressing. But even this saga of the would-be empress's new clothes does emphasize a point about the campaign worthy of deep consideration. $150,000 in clothes, Senator McCain? To make what might as well be an actress playing your running mate look more like a vice president, Senator McCain? Here's your running mate, Senator. Like I said, color forms. This is the hockey mom connected to the small towns where the real Americans are, struggling and scrimping on what's working out to be a clothing budget of just $18,000 a week.
This whole thing with the wardrobe, you know, I've tried to just ignore it because it's so ridiculous, but I'm glad now that Elizabeth brought it up because it gives me an opportunity without the filter of the media to get to tell you the whole clothes thing. Those clothes, they are not my property, just like the lighting and the staging and everything else that the RNC purchased. I'm not taking them with me. I'm back to wearing my own clothes from my favorite consignment shop in Anchorage, Alaska. You'd think not that I would even have to address the issue because, as Elizabeth is suggesting, the double standard here, gosh, we don't even want to waste our time.